Hey guys, it's Mike from Gettin Greasy Garage. Sitting here in the shop today. Not really doing a whole lot, so I mentioned it here and there in a couple other videos that I've had some health issues through the winter, and well, that's why I'm not working on anything today. I do get to missing being in my shop. That's what I do. That's my everyday. I do this 7 days a week. This is my life, and not being able to go to work every day or come play or whatever you want to call it really is wearing me down. Gets me gets me down, and it's kind of depressing. But I'm doing the best I can with what I've gone through. So a little bit of background: I was born with really severe asthma. Lived with it my whole life. Dealt with it. It's a normal thing to have an inhaler and take medications for it. Uh, Spring of 2021, I had a really severe case of COVID-19. Don't know what variant. One of them, maybe it was the China one. I don't know. But anyway, that darn near put me in the hospital. Quite honestly, I should have went, but I didn't. Spent stayed at home for family. My son and my mother nursed me through. But ever since then, I just have had a lot of breathing problems. My breathing wasn't what it should have been, and didn't get any better. Still hasn't really gotten better. Uh, Finally, through my regular doctor, she sent me to a pulmonary specialist, who's also an asthma specialist, and started working on that. New medications, some new things that have come out that they make life a little bit bearable, a little bit more bearable for me. I don't get winded quite as easy, feel better. Being asthmatic for me means my blood oxygen level is always low, and when you don't breathe right, your oxygen level's low. Um, you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like going to work. You don't feel like exercising. Well, meanwhile, lack of exercise, which I put on some extra weight. You don't feel good enough to exercise. Weight doesn't come off. That's another thing that I'm dealing with because food still tastes good no matter how I feel. Uh, Moved into this new shop this last fall, which has been a godsend. Thank you, Dad. My dad gave me this space to work in, and it's not big, it's not a lot, but it's mine, and I love it. So considering where I was 4 years ago, this is heaven for me. And I'm excited to say that. I'm thankful beyond words for having this. You can hear the heater in the background. Well, here in Western Washington, we've had a cool, cold winter. Not a lot of snow, but just being cold. I heat in here with one of those torpedo style propane heaters. And coming up about darn near 2 months ago, I was moving some things around the shop, and I well, backed into it. Well, I wear shorts. I'm not a jeans kind of guy. Never have been. If you see me in long breeches, it's got to be really cold or some fancy event that I got to dress up for. So bearskin and torpedo propane flame heaters don't mix. And burnt a nice softball sized spot on the back of my lower left leg. Like any other burn, torches and welding and everything else. Uh, got the first aid kit out, took care of it, wrapped it. After a few days, just wasn't looking very good and really draining a lot of fluid, quite painful. Decided to go to the doctor for it. Got in there, the doctor cleaned it up again real good, and went ahead and ran a couple of tests, and it came up that I have a staph infection. And at the time, I didn't really know what staph was. Now, from an old injury I have, it's called cellulitis. Cellulitis isn't extra fat, guys. It's actually a natural bacteria that, for me, is runs dormant in my system, flares up once in a while, and I get an infection in my old broken leg site, which is my lower right leg. So now I got both legs aren't in 100% shape. Um, Doctor put me on some real strong antibiotics. Took them like I was prescribed. Kept the wound clean. Started to heal up, looking really good. Plans to feel better, and ran out of antibiotics. That, as per the timeline, and the wound stopped healing. Started itching and burning real bad. Started draining. Drainage turned to not very good looking stuff. Back to the doctor I go. Staph infection now spread into my bloodstream and around that wound site. Now I've got a couple other lesions that have opened up. So I'm basically back to square one. I have this infection in my bloodstream and in my wound, and so I'm not feeling really good at all from that. Still get the chills and feeling hot, muscle aches, and uh, best way I can say it, I feel like I have a cold, but I don't have a cold. Uh, so different antibiotics and some different ointments to treat it with, bandages, stuff like that. And so I've been back home. Home for a few days, and it just started draining, really heavy, hurting, burning real bad. So went Saturday, I believe. know, I don't know, one of the days this week. All my days blend together, so bear with me. But spent pretty much the whole day in the hospital after the walk-in clinic. Wouldn't even they wouldn't even look at me. They said, "Hey, you need more antibiotics. Go get an IV in the hospital." So I took me to the hospital. Spent the day in the hospital, and more antibiotics. Pills, take these. Go home. Keep it clean. This time, keep it elevated. Keep it wrapped. Stay out of the shop. Not working. Uh, yeah. So it's just kind of gone from bad to worse. I have the 59 Fairlane project that I had finally reached the point on it to where most of the mock-up was done. Rear suspension mock-up. I had a lot of video on that. I lost it in my laptop somewhere. Computer guy's still trying to find it. There's hope. But if not, you'll see everything when my video actually go back together with it. Start tearing down rear suspension, front suspension, so that everything could go into the blast cabinet, sandblasted, painted, and prep for final assembly. Got the burn, got put all that on hold. Um, After the initial burn, I still do other repair stuff besides building these custom cars. So had a PT Cruiser come in for a water pump. Um, had a parts fiasco with that. Wasn't able to get that. That's still here. Can't work on that. Can't work on the 59. Got a really cool project going with my son on a '69 Ford Econoline van that I put a video out about. I don't know if I'll do it on this channel or the second channel. Yes, I do have a second channel. Uh, either way, that'll be coming up. I can finish filming that, do a little interview with him about it, let him tell the story of his band. Uh, and a young friend of my son's comes from kind of a rough walk of life. My family and I decided that we'd help him out. Vehicle needed a transmission. We had an extra one. Kids, kids working. He's trying. So we're trying to offer him a hand up instead of seeing him go back to the unhealthy lifestyle that his family is living. Hopefully, he can take the help that we're giving him and move forward. So I've been in and out of the shop. I just come down here, sit here at the desk, and work around little stuff, little projects, kind of guide him through. Okay, take the rear drive shaft out. I teach him everything. How to put a vehicle up on jack stands. The vehicle's a 2004 Chevy Trailblazer, bad 4L60. So, how to put it on jack stands, take the rear drive shaft out, take this out, take that out, step by step, teaching about tools, using my tools, step by step. And I'm teaching them the best I can. Unfortunately, I'm having to be an armchair commando on this one. I can't really get out there and lay under the rig right now. If I can't work on the 59 or the PC Cruiser or any other things that I want to work on, sure can't be out there helping him. My son's giving him some assistance when he needs it, and I'm able to explain stuff well enough. So they got the transmission out today. Last week they pulled the transmission out of the parts vehicle it was in. So now he's got two removals, and I'm going to put the transmission in his truck tomorrow and get him going back the other way. So that's been an upbeat thing, teaching this young man how to do this stuff, kind of guide him through, showing him the do's and the don'ts. He gets to learn that it's pretty nice to have things like gear wrenches and electric impacts, and these kind of things, instead of just a basic socket set and wrench. And some stuff I make him do it the hard way. Some stuff I let him use an impact and show him these tools. There's tools out there to make things faster. So, that's been kind of the highlight of my day of late. A lot of you remember the $1,000 auto truck project that got really close to being done and then kind of vanished. So, update on that. Uh, y'all know that, like watching the videos, the history of the motor. When I took the block into the machine shop originally to have it inspected, checked out, make sure that it was usable in the condition that it was in, from having a locked up crank. The bearings locked up, it never spun a bearing. Things did get hot though. Well, they tend to do when they run out of oil. Anyway, machine shop assured me block was good to go. They hot tanked it, new cam bearings, brought it home, put the engine together. You guys saw videos about that. Put it in the truck, and from there the fight began. Wouldn't start. Thought, okay, maybe the starter wasn't very good. Because we'd never heard this truck run before. It came to us as a so that truck came to us as a non-running, kind of not really a basket case, but with a locked up engine. So that was, the decision was made to go ahead because I only had 100 2,000, I think, on it at the time to go ahead and put a crank kit in it. Um, Unbeknownst to me at the time, toilet paper was at a shortage and cleaners and everything else. So why wouldn't engine parts? Well, I searched long and hard, found a crankshaft on eBay. Was supposed to be turned, ready to go, 1010, 10 on the rods, 10 on the mains, came with bearings, put the motor together, get in the truck. Anyway, back to thought the starter wasn't that. Thought maybe there was a weird computer problem. Not knowing really anything about this truck. Uh, Sent the whole truck out to a friend of mine's shop, put it on his diagnostics equipment, and found that the engine was not turning fast enough for the sensor to pick up the signal, i.e., engine's too tight, it's not turning fast enough. Well, that one was a new one to me. Put some motors together before in my life. I feel too loose, got some rattles, but never nothing too tight. Big deal. Pull it out, tear it back down. Um, yeah, the crank did not want to turn by hand, just, with no rods on it or anything. I guess I probably should have caught it during assembly. However, when I assembled it, the shop was 35 degrees, and I kind of thought, well, assembly lube kind of turns to sludge at that temperature. It'll be okay. So, I guess shame on me. Really hasn't didn't cost anything in parts as such, but it did cost time. So got it out, got it all apart. Proceeded to take it back to the machine shop. Now I don't know about you guys anywhere else, but machine shops are dying off around here, and there's not a couple left. And for me, the trust factor comes in, knowing their work, knowing it's good quality work. Price really isn't even an issue as long as the quality of work is good. These guys had done some stuff for me in the past, good work. They had this block in. They said, "Oh yeah, it's a good block. Go ahead and use it." Blah. So, in taking it back to them, I said, here's what's going on. Uh, Shop manager takes one look at it. Says, "Well, yeah, the mains are too tight. Needs a line hole, a line board. You guys said this block's good to go." So, needless to say, they weren't going to do anything about it as far as fix it for free or anything. And I still have a motor that needs to be built. Owner of the truck says, "Hey, I don't care. I want it done. I want it right in the end. I want a good motor that lasts a long time, whatever it costs." Okay, so leave it at the machine shop. Okay, we'll get to it. We'll align for it. Get it back to you. Um, really busy. Maybe a month, 6 weeks. Okay, no problem. I understand everybody's busy. I'm busy. They're busy. Whatever. Check in with them. Haven't got to it. Haven't got to it. Sorry, sorry. Okay, it's another couple weeks. Okay, well now we're after Christmas. Uh, this thing been been apart. Well, been at that shop since November at this point. Uh, and again, I don't really have anywhere else that I'm comfortable taking it. I'd rather wait and know I'm getting good machine work than take it somewhere else and have other issues. So meanwhile, I got the 59 build going on, health issues, things that are happening. I can't say I forgot about it, but it wasn't the top thing on my mind like it should have been. So I go to actually go to the shop, my son and I walk in there and I said, I need an answer. They either need deleted a line board block and crank that I brought in here. I can take it somewhere else, or I need it done now, ready to go, or at least something, an answer. Well, they apparently switched managers. Okay, this new manager says, promise you a couple weeks, I've done for you. Okay, so 2 weeks goes by and he calls me up and says, well, finally, got that thing apart. I had left a crank in it. That way they could see what the deal was with the bearings themselves. I used to work in a machine shop, so it was always nice to have somebody bring something in so we could take it apart ourselves, analyze, and figure out the problem on our own. Not just them guessing, and we get a bunch of parts in the box. So he says, yeah, that crank that you bought was just a polished up factory crank that was actually 4 thousandths off on the rod journals, and I think you said 7 thousandths off on the mains. Huh. Well, okay, that crank was not my first choice to buy from the person I bought it from. Kind of got pressured into that. So, needless to say, owner wanted what they wanted at the time they wanted it. Their money. That's the crank that I got. So, find out now, crank needs turning. Well, crank grinder's 2 weeks out. Okay, so they get the crank turned, they get it back. Now they can line on the block. Uh, apparently, found out after the fact, their cranks go to one person for grinding, their blocks go to another place for alignment for them. They don't do either of those operations. They don't have the equipment. Okay, that's fine. Those are what they are. Um, so while it's out getting a line board, I had him go ahead and order me bearings because I'm started looking around for bearings, 20, 2010 or 20-inch under on the mains, 20-inch under on the rods. I wasn't really finding anything where I was looking. Probably out there, somebody knows. But told the machine shop, go ahead and get me some Flevites. I took it the box right here. There you go. There's the rods. Uh, anyway, so he goes, well, it's an LS, supposed to replace all the bolts, yada, yada, yada. I put it back together before I reused all the bolts. I'm not going to sit here and argue the good or bad on that. I made my decision to stick with it. Well, I told him, why don't you go ahead and get me a new set of mains? I'll reuse them once on these torque yields, but I'm not going to reuse them again. Well, what do you want, ARPs? Or get me a good stock replacement. So calls me a week later. Everything's ready to go. Oh, great. Get down there to pick it up. Oh, well, we're waiting on the rod bearings. Manager of the shop went to pick them up. Okay, we'll load up the rest of the stuff. I'll come back. I'll get the bearings. Not a big deal. Uh, get everything home. Everything's nice. Machine looks beautiful. Now, meanwhile, of course, they line board it. So they have to knock the cam bearings out, re-hot tank it. Now they have to charge me for a new set of cam bearings. At this point, I just didn't want to argue with anybody over cam bearings. The owner wants his truck. He doesn't. He just everybody's kind of their wits end. And so, give me all the old bearings, all the old the new cam bearings. You can't put back in apparently. Uh, got that home, and this is all while I'm dealing with my health issues. And so get it home, get it on the stand. Well, now I'll start all over again. Prime it, paint it. So got that done a few days ago, about a week ago now. Uh, and I didn't get the stock replacement rod bolts I wanted. Instead, an ARP main stud kit. That's great. Not a bad thing on this because this is a turbo motor, but it adds a lot of work in assembly, disassembly. Um, I realized this thing just came from the machine shop, so the crank should match everything, the bearings, and I shouldn't have to check any clearances. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. Time saver. I like to use plastic gauge. I'm not going to argue the merits or demerits about it. I use it. I like it. That's all there is. Well, when you start adding all them studs and the nuts and torques and put it all together on the mains with plastic gauge, take it all back apart, everything's perfect. This thing's blueprint. So I guess I should say in all this pile up with the machine shop, they did go above and beyond and blueprint this bottom end. All the specs are the same. Even after the plastic gauge, grab the micrometers, start measuring everything, they kept everything within a thousandth of an inch. This thing's beautiful, beautiful. So it took a year to do it the right way, but it's right now. So again, I'm supposed to be at home, leg elevated, watching YouTube, whatever. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But I'm really struggling with not being here in the shop. I got that motor to build, and get back in the truck. I got the PT Cruiser, got the 59. A build I did a couple of years ago, the 78 El Camino, uh, Project Disco. He wants to bring that back, have me do a American Auto Wire 22 circuit wiring harness. That, a digital gauge cluster, and a shifter. Well, that he wants to have that here in the next couple of weeks. And what else? Oh, and I have a like a Chevy Lumina or Monte Carlo. Some, excuse me. Some front wheel drive GM car that some squirrels got in and ate up all the engine wiring. That again, I got to rewire. Um, Automotive wiring is one of my things that I do. I happen to enjoy doing it. So I have all this on my plate, and I'm dealing with these health problems. I'm very fortunate in that my customers are the greatest people. Not squawking, not complaining. Everybody wants the cars. They're totally being understanding about my health and me getting me straightened out. Got to fix me, then I fix their cars. So now, in with that is you guys and this channel that I have worked really hard on. I do all this YouTube stuff by myself, and this is literally my third go at a channel. Some of you may remember my original channel, Greasy Paws Garage, that was regularly growing and was hacked and was all deleted. Never be seen again. Thank you, YouTube, and your algorithms. So I'm not going to get back into that, but this channel has been picking up a couple of subscribers a week. We're over 200 now. Thank you. Thank you. It's every YouTuber's dream to hit that magical 1,000. And I know I will someday. And in order to do that, I have to be healthy enough to get my butt back here in the garage, work on cars, film it, and show it to you guys. If you guys want to see things that I do, obviously, are here. Like the 59 build, custom work that's being done to that. Uh, you know, on and on and on. So, with that, I just want to thank you for your patience and your understanding. Uh, Welcome to new subscribers. This is kind of a long-winded video, but I just wanted everybody to understand where things are at for the channel, for me, for these cars. I don't know how to do anything else but fix cars, so if I have to drag myself in here in a wheelchair and have an oxygen mask on my face, that's what I'll do. That is what I'll do. And we'll film it and do the best we can, won't we? But, I just kind of wanted to put this out there so that people can understand what's going on. Uh, the support, I don't make anything from this channel. I don't have any sponsors. Maybe someday, hopefully that happens. I am self-employed, so if I'm not in the shop working, I don't have an income. Uh, I'm not begging or asking for anybody's help. That's neither here nor there. Unless like some big sponsor wants to step in and help a fella out, I'm not gonna say no. Just all kidding aside, though, uh, I am excited to get back in here and get working, get caught up on projects, and then even get going on some of my own stuff. Some of you remember the '59 Willys Jeep, the little DJ 3A Postal Jeep. I have that I want to work on. I've got my 1972 Chevy K20 four-wheel drive pickup that I've had since I was 18 years old. That I was a young dumb kid, didn't realize that wow, that's going to be worth something someday, and they really are now, and it's a neat truck. So I want to drag that in here and get it running and driving again. Put a front axle back in it. Fix all the dents from one mudding and wheeling back in the day and stuff like that. And, be able to work on my son's van with him and uh, getting other young guys and girls interested in this stuff as much as possible, even helping them with their basic repairs on their personal vehicles. Well, again, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel, being patient, and get back to this as soon as I'm able to. I got a little video from a few weeks back that I'm going to go ahead and post after this one. Just a little quickie video, not a lot, but something. And as soon as I can get back in here, you guys will see more content. And, so that's where it's at. Thank you, and catch you in the next one.